Welcome to the third part of physics chapter number 6, heat and energy. This part is about sources of energy. So we use energy in different form in our day-to-day life. The ultimate source of energy is sun, but sun's heat and light energy, which is available to us, is not cannot be used by us to accomplish our desired tasks. For example, energy to cook. You cannot keep your food in sunlight and cook it directly. You need certain mechanism. You need to convert the sun's energy into, uh, you can say, optimum heat energy, which is required for cooking. What about lighting our homes? Sun is not there in the night. How you going to light your homes? So you need electrical energy to light your homes, or you need at least candles. And what are candles? Candles are made up of wax. What is wax? Wax is a fuel. So where does this energy come into the fuel? The ultimate source of energy is sun. Due to sun, whatever plants and animals, they live, and then they eventually die and they decay and they get converted into the fuels like petroleum, coal, and all the you can say uh, carbon compounds which help us to create heat and light in the absence of sun. That is fire, that is fuels, combustion. So uh, heat energy, or any sort of energy for that matter, and it requires to be converted from any available form into a desired form, so that we can use that form of energy easily, and we can accomplish the tasks, we can survive, and we can also get a comfortable life, sustainable life for ourselves. Okay, so we are going to talk about sources of energy in this part. Where do we get energy from? Sources of energy. Characteristics of a source of energy. A source of energy should be such that it can provide an adequate amount of useful energy at a steady rate over a long period of time. It should be safe and convenient to use, economical and easy to store and transport. Okay, so these are the sources of energy. These are the characteristics of sources of energy. A source of energy should be such that it can provide adequate amount of useful energy at a steady rate. Adequate means sufficient. What do you mean by adequate over here? Adequate means sufficient. Sufficient amount of energy हमें मिलना चाहिए at a steady rate. ऐसा नहीं है कि steady rate नहीं है, that means regularity नहीं है. एनर्जी का सोर्स मिल रहा है लेकिन डे में मिल रहा है, नाइट को नहीं मिल रहा है. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. स्टेडी रेट होना चाहिए ओवर अ लॉन्ग पीरियड ऑफ टाइम. इट शुड बी सेफ. सेफ होना चाहिए एंड कन्वीनियंट टू यूज भी होना चाहिए. इकोनॉमिकल होना चाहिए एंड इट शुड बी इजी टू स्टोर एंड ट्रांसपोर्ट. So if it is adequate, it is available at a steady rate for a long period of time. It is safe, convenient to use, economical, and easy to store and transport. Then we can call it an ideal source of energy. Now, there are certain classifications given over here, depending upon the point of view of availability. Okay, the energy sources are divided into the two groups: renewable or non-conventional sources of energy. Renewable or non-conventional sources of energy, and non-renewable or conventional sources of energy. Non-renewable or conventional sources of energy. So we have to study both of these sources of energy or types of sources of energy in detail. So first we are going to start with renewable or the non-conventional source of energy. A natural source providing us energy continuously is called a renewable or non-conventional source of energy. And the biggest example is sun. Sun is the main source of energy for us on earth. It is renewable because its energy does not end. It does not have an end. It is renewable. It goes on and on and on and on for millions and trillions of years, right? So it is the main renewable source of energy, yet it is known as non-conventional. See, they've also written the term non-conventional. Now, this conventional word has come from the word convenient. Convenient. तो sun convenient source of energy क्यों नहीं है? Sun is the ultimate source of energy, but why is it not convenient? Why it is non-conventional? It is non-conventional, or it is not convenient to use sun as a source of energy because the energy from sun cannot be used directly for many other applications. It has to be converted into a useful form and then used, right? Also, it is not available continuously, right? So you can say, if you want to cook food, does the sun provide an adequate amount of energy? Not always. Only in the afternoon sun is providing adequate amount of energy. Is it providing at a steady rate? It does provide at a steady rate, but yeah, at night it does not provide. Does it provide for a long period of time? Yes, it does. It should be safe. Is it safe? Is the sun's energy safe? Yes, it is. Is it convenient to use? No, it is not convenient. Is it economical? Yes, it's absolutely free. Is it easy to store? No, we can't store sun's energy. Yeah, unless and until we have a solar cell, right? Can we transport it? No, we cannot transport it. So you see, some characteristics of sources of energy are not matching with non-conventional source of energy, for example, sun. Okay, there are other sources, other natural sources from which energy is obtained, like wind energy. You might have heard about windmills, right? Flowing water, energy from flowing water, they directly convert it into electrical energy. Tides, ocean waves, biogas, these are directly or indirectly derived from the energy of sun. We can use these sources as long as the earth continues to receive heat and light from the sun. Apart from these sources, geothermal energy, geothermal energy, nuclear energy are other sources of energy which can provide us energy over a long period of time. And these sources of energy can be used again and again and will never get exhausted. Although wood obtained from trees is also considered as a renewable source of energy, but trees usually take more than 15 years to grow fully. Therefore, renewable wood as source of energy takes a long time. Renewable wood as a source of energy takes a long time. Further, cutting of trees on a large scale causes depletion of forests, which results in global warming and environmental imbalance. So hence, use of wood as a source of energy must be avoided. Although it is renewable, but it must be avoided because the rate at which we are cutting down the forest, it is not fulfilling the criteria for getting energy from wood. So wood should be the last resource for obtaining energy. Wood is used for many other purposes. It is used for making furniture, and there are many other applications of wood. Okay, wood is used for making paper, but for burning and obtaining energy, wood should not be used. It should be avoided. Okay, so main source of renewable energy are sun, wind, flowing water or hydro, biomass or biofuels from waste products, tides, ocean, geothermal spots, and nuclear fuel. We are going to study each of them in a little bit of detail so you get an idea about renewable or non-conventional sources of energy. So let's start with sun. Sun is the main source of various types of energies. The energy obtained from sun is called the solar energy. In the interior of sun, nuclear fusion reaction generate huge amount of energy which is radiated out continuously in all direction in space. Since the sun is very far from earth, we receive only a very small fraction of the total solar energy. The solar energy that reaches earth is neither uniform nor equal at all places. It changes daily, even at one place. It also varies during a day. The average solar energy reaching the upper atmosphere of Earth per second on an area of 1 meter square is called solar constant. Remember this, the average solar energy reaching the upper atmosphere of Earth per second on an area of 1 meter square is called solar constant, and it is estimated nearly to be 1.34 kilowatt per meter square. The solar energy reaching the Earth is absorbed by land, plants, water bodies like rivers, lakes, oceans. The solar energy absorbed by land and water bodies cause winds, storms, rains, change in weather, snowfalls, sea waves, etc. While the solar energy absorbed by plants is utilized by them in preparing their food by the process of photosynthesis. So this is all about solar energy, which you should know. Then second is wind as a source of energy. The large mass of moving air is called wind. Due to its motion, it has kinetic energy, and the kinetic energy of wind is called wind energy. Indirectly, wind energy comes from sun, solar energy. Sun ray falling on earth heat different areas of earth unequally. Due to unequal heating of different areas of earth and rotation of earth and local convection currents, we have different wind cycles. From the very early days, we have been using energy possessed by wind for various purposes, such as in removing husk from grains, in propelling sailboats in rivers and seas, in moving vehicles for transportation, and in windmills to draw water from the ground and to grind grains. Right? So wind energy has been used since a long time now. Right? And today also wind energy is used in windmills to produce electricity. So it is a unending source of energy, the cause of which is sun, solar energy. It is non-renewable and it is also non-conventional because you cannot store and transport wind energy, and there are many other reasons why it is non-conventional. But it is non-renewable, sorry, it is renewable as well. Renewable means you can use it again and again and it will not come end, right? Flowing water is also a source of energy. The kinetic energy possessed by flowing water is called hydroenergy. Hydroenergy too comes indirectly from the sun. Solar energy is responsible for water cycle in nature. Water in oceans, rivers, lakes, etc. absorbs solar energy and then it evaporates to form clouds. The clouds move due to air currents and ultimately water comes back on the ground in the form of rain and snow. Man has been utilizing for centuries the energy of flowing water in rivers for rotating the wheels of water mill used to drive the flour mill in remote hilly areas and for transporting heavy logs of wood from forest and hilly areas to the downstream areas in the plains. So hydroenergy now it is used to produce electrical energy using hydroelectric power plant. Biomass as a source of energy. The wastes and dead parts of living beings like plants, trees, animals is called biomass. They contain carbon compounds. The chemical energy stored in biomass is called bioenergy. So bioenergy also comes from solar energy because without sun no plant or animal would exist, right? So biomass is a byproduct of solar energy. Biomass such as wood, cattle dung, crop residues and agriculture wastes like bagasse have been traditionally used as fuels to produce heat energy for domestic as well as commercial purpose. Bagus, Bagasse or Bagus, I don't know how to pronounce that, but let me show you how does it look. Bagasse. Yeah, so this is Bagasse basically. Yeah, so this is Bagus, Bagasse or Bagus or whatever you call. So it is obtained from different, you can say agricultural wastes, right? So this is also a source of biomass, crop residue, you can call it. Okay, so they have been traditionally used as a fuel to produce heat energy for domestic as well as commercial purposes. Biomass is also used to produce biogas by its decomposition in the absence of oxygen. The main constituents of biogas is methane, 65%, and the rest is a mixture of carbon dioxide, hydrogen, and hydrogen sulfide. So, biogas is mainly methane, carbon dioxide, hydrogen, and hydrogen sulfide. Biogas is used as a fuel to run engines and for generating electricity in India. We use two types of biogas plants in the floating gas holder type and the fixed dome type. You can find both of them. You can search YouTube or Google and find the idea regarding how both of them work. Okay, they are called as gobar gas plants because the main biomass used in these plants is called slurry, which is the mixture of animal dung or gobar and water. So that was renewable resource number 4. Next is tides as a source of energy, tidal energy. The rise of ocean water near the coast is called high tide, and the fall of ocean water is called low tide. This rise and fall of tidal waves occur twice in a day. The energy possessed by rising and falling water in tides is known as tidal energy. Tidal energy is harnessed for producing electricity by constructing a dam across a narrow opening to the sea. But this is not a major source of energy because of the following two reasons. The rise and fall of seawater during tides is not enough to generate electricity on a large scale, and there are very few sites which are suitable for building tidal dams. So tidal energy yet remains a prospect which can be explored in future. Oceans as a source of energy. Water in ocean possesses energy in two forms: ocean thermal energy and ocean waves energy, which is very similar to the tidal energy. Water at the surface of ocean gets heated by absorbing the heat of the sun, while the water at its deepest level or deeper level remains cold. Thus, there is a difference of temperature of water at the surface and at the deeper level of an ocean. This difference in temperature is found to be up to 20 degrees Celsius. The energy available due to the difference in temperature of water at the surface and deeper levels of ocean is called ocean thermal energy. Obviously, this energy also comes indirectly from the sun only. Ocean thermal energy is harnessed for producing electricity by a device called ocean thermal energy conversion power plant. Then ocean waves energy. Due to the wind blowing on the surface of oceans, waves move at very high speed on its surface, which are called oceanic waves or sea waves. Due to their high speed, they carry tremendous amount of kinetic energy with them. The kinetic energy possessed by such fast moving oceans or ocean waves is called oceanic or sea waves energy. This energy also comes indirectly from the sun. Sea waves energy can also be harnessed to produce electricity, but so far it has not become possible to produce electricity from sea waves energy on a large scale. However, models have been made to generate electricity from oceanic waves. Geothermal spots as source of energy. At some places, rocks below the surface of Earth are very hot. Such places are known as hotspots. The heat energy possessed by rocks inside the earth is called the geothermal energy. Geothermal energy is harnessed to produce electricity. The rocks present at hotspots heat the underground water, turn it into steam, which gets compressed at high pressure between the rocks. By drilling holes into the earth up to the hotspot, steam is extracted through the pipes, which is utilized to rotate the turbine connected to the armature of the electric generator to produce electricity. So basically, steam is used to generate electricity. In India, there are very few places where geothermal energy can be harnessed to produce electricity. One such place is in Madhya Pradesh. However, in USA, New Zealand, there are a number of geothermal energy based power plants. And the last source of non-conventional and renewable source of energy is nuclear fuel as a source of energy. Uranium is one heavy metal, like other heavy metals such as plutonium, thorium. These are all radioactive metals or radioactive substances. So when these radioactive substances nuclei in their atoms is bombarded with a slow neutron, this heavy nucleus splits into two nearly equal light nuclei and a large amount of energy is released. This phenomena is called splitting or nuclear fission. Similarly, when two light nuclei combine to form a heavy nucleus at very high temperature and high pressure, a tremendous amount of energy is released, and this phenomena is called nuclear fusion. In both these processes, the origin of energy is the loss in mass. That is, sum of the masses of product or of reaction is less than the sum of the masses of the reactants, and this loss in mass is converted into energy E according to Einstein's mass energy equivalence relation. E is equal to mc square, where C is 3 times 10 to the power 8 meter per second is the speed of light, and m is the loss in mass. This energy is known as nuclear energy. In fission reaction, of one uranium nucleus, nearly 200 mega electron volt of energy is released, and 2 or 3 neutrons are also emitted. If number of uranium nuclei present are more, each neutron emitted in the fission reaction of a uranium nucleus causes fission in the new uranium nuclei, and thus a chain of nuclear fission reaction occurs, which once started continues till the entire uranium is exhausted. मतलब इतनी ज़्यादा energy release होती है in this fission reaction that it is very important to control this reaction and obtain the energy in a controlled manner. Otherwise, if it is uncontrolled, the chain reaction will result into a explosion on which atomic bomb is based. The atomic bomb is based on the same principle, uncontrolled fission reaction. But to utilize the energy produced in the process of fission for constructive use, such as to produce electricity, the chain reaction is controlled by absorbing some neutrons with the help of cadmium rods. This is done in nuclear reactor. So far, it has not been possible to harness energy by the process of nuclear fusion. But this is a old news. This book has been written before this thing happened. So let me tell you that China has successfully created artificial sun in laboratory. So what they are doing, what do I mean by artificial sun is they are actually um, creating nuclear fusion reaction in a laboratory. So that's a news. Okay, I'll just type this. China creates artificial sun. So if you can see this, China turns on nuclear powered artificial sun, and they have this whole uh, you can say yes. So this is the device. Yeah, this is the artificial sun which China has created, and this is HL2M tokamak reactor. This is China's largest and most advanced nuclear fusion experimental research device, and scientists hope that the device can potentially unlock powerful clean energy source. So uh, you can find more about this on the web. And as I told you, this is an old textbook, and this news is outdated. Okay, so these are all the non-conventional or renewable sources of energy. Now we are going to study about non-renewable or conventional sources of energy. Now again, I would like to tell you that what do you mean when they are saying conventional? Conventional means convenient, the sources of energy which are more convenient to use, but they are non-renewable. Non-renewable means once they are exhausted or completed or finished, they cannot be obtained again easily. Okay, so the sources of energy which have accumulated in nature over a very long period and cannot be quickly replaced when exhausted are called non-renewable or conventional sources of energy. For example, coal, petroleum, natural gas, fossil fuels basically are all non-renewable but conventional sources of energy. So all these fossil fuels are formed by decomposition of remains of plants and animals buried under the earth millions of years ago. So the formation of fossil fuels have occurred over millions of years ago due to certain very slow changes under special circumstances. If they are being used extensively, which they are, their known reserves will soon deplete, and once exhausted they cannot be regenerated soon. And that's why these sources of energy like coal, petroleum, natural gas are known as non-renewable or conventional sources of energy. Now, why they are known as conventional? I'll tell you why. See, they are so convenient to use. Easily they can catch fire, they can produce heat. This heat can be converted easily into any desired form. You can cook with it, you can produce electricity with it, and you can run your vehicle with it. And that's why they are known as very you can say convenient, and that's why conventional sources of energy. So coal is a non-renewable source. Coal is a non-renewable source made of complex compounds of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, along with some free carbon and compounds of nitrogen and sulfur. It is found in deep mines under the surface of earth. In India, coal mines are found in Jharkhand, West Bengal, Orissa, and Chhattisgarh. Since coal is found in abundance in our country, it is the most common source of energy for us. Then comes petroleum. Petroleum is a dark colored viscous liquid. Very dark. I'm not talking about petrol, I'm talking about petroleum. It is a dark colored viscous thick liquid. It is also called crude oil. It is a non-renewable source of energy which is found under Earth's crust trapped in rocks. It is called petroleum because petroleum means rock oil. It is a complex mixture. Petroleum is a complex mixture of many hydrocarbons with water, salt, earth particles, and other compounds of carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, and sulfur. It is lighter than water and does not mix with water. Petroleum is obtained by drilling oil wells into Earth's crust at its reservoirs. In India, the reservoirs of petroleum have been found in Assam and Mumbai. Crude oil petroleum extracted from wells is not suitable to be used as a fuel in its natural form. It has to be purified or refined to obtain different useful components. The process of separating useful components from crude petroleum is called refining, which is done by fractional distillation in big oil refineries set up for this purpose. The petroleum gas obtained as a byproduct from the fractional distillation of petroleum contains mainly the butane and a small amount of propane and ethane. These gases burn readily and produce a lot of heat. Hence, petroleum gas can be used as a good fuel. Butane and propane and ethane are in gaseous state at ordinary pressure, but they can be easily liquefied under pressure. The petroleum gas liquefied under pressure is called the liquefied petroleum gas or LPG, which is used in domestic gas stoves as a fuel for heating purposes. It is stored in gas cylinder. See, it is easy to store and transport. After mixing a strong smelling substance called ethyl mercaptan C2H5SH. Why do we mix this strong smelling substance with LPG? LPG is odorless, it does not have a smell. But if there is a leak of LPG, it can be easily found out that some gas is leaked. Okay, otherwise, um, gas leakage can result into some very serious accidents. So to prevent the accident and to detect the leaking smell of the gas, LPG is mixed with a strong smelling substance called ethyl mercaptan, so that the gas leakage, if any, from the cylinder can be easily detected. Then there is natural gas. Natural gas is also a non-renewable source of energy which is found deep under Earth's crust, either alone or above the petroleum reservoirs. It is also obtained by digging wells into the earth. From some wells we can extract only natural gas, while from others we can extract both natural gas and petroleum. In India, there are a number of natural gas fields such as in Tripura, Jaisalmer, offshore area of Mumbai, and in Krishna Godavari Delta. The main component of natural gas is methane. Up to 95% of natural gas is nothing but methane. You know, CNG, compressed natural gas, is also the natural gas which we are talking about right now, which is a good fuel for vehicles. Okay, along with small quantities of ethane and propane, it easily burns to produce heat. So these are the distinctions you should read between the renewable and non-renewable sources of energy. There are 4 distinctions with examples. I recommend that you read them and memorize them. Many questions can be asked from these distinctions. The last part is, I think this is, no, there is a lot of part, lot of part remaining in this. So let me just make this last part of this video, and then I'll continue in the next video. Judicious use of energy. See, it is not possible to harness energy sufficient for our requirement from non-conventional sources of energy. So we have to make use of conventional sources also. But the conventional sources of energy, for example, fossil fuels, are limited and non-renewable. So the constant use of them will create an energy crisis in the coming future. Therefore, the following measures must be taken for judicious use of energy. Number 1, fossil fuels such as coal, petroleum, etc. should be used only for limited purposes when no other alternative source is available. Wastage of energy should be avoided. Cutting of trees must be banned, and more trees must be planted. Efforts must be made to make use of energy in community or groups. The use of energy in urban areas is much more than in rural areas. In rural areas, the use of renewable resources of energy is easier than in urban areas. In rural areas, we can use biogas, wind energy, hydroenergy for running lights and tube wells. Such techniques should be developed by which in near future we may make use of renewable sources such as solar energy, wind energy, hydroenergy, bioenergy, ocean energy, etc. as much as possible to meet our requirements. Efforts must be made to obtain nuclear energy by controlled nuclear fusion of deuterium nuclei present in heavy water available in the sea. This will then become an endless source of energy. In our daily life, both in urban and rural area, we need energy mostly in the form of electricity. So we shall now study the methods of producing electricity from renewable sources of energy. So this is going to be a little informative part which I'm going to cover in the next video. Up to now we were just focusing on the sources of energy. Now we will understand how electricity is produced from these various sources of energy. For now, I'll just stop this video and continue this remaining part in the next video. Bye bye.